everybody. My name is Sarah, and this is a gentle yin class. So you'll need a mat, ideally a blanket or towel, and blocks today. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat, and we'll get started in a minute. Give you a little time to gather your things if you haven't already. And I want to tell you a little story. So we have been hanging out with our neighbor girls, and they're 3, 5, and 7. We played hide and seek last night, and the youngest girl, who's 3, would close her eyes, shut her eyes real tight, or put her head in her hands to count. And when it was her turn, she said, "Okay, it's my turn," and she put her head in her hands and started counting 1, 2, 3. And then all of a sudden she realized it was her turn. So she put her head up, she said, "Oh," she kind of whispered and said, "I'm still here." And so then she eventually ran off and hid. And it reminded me of that poem that I read sometimes about finding yourself. And it's funny, we think we're lost when we're actually right here. And sometimes it just takes a little reminding that you're still here. And sometimes you have to find yourself over and over again. So I invite you to think about that this morning as you practice, or maybe you like to set an intention around that, about finding yourself. Or maybe there's something else going on in your life and you want to set a different intention. So let's start with a little breathing together. Find a comfortable seat, ideally sitting on a blanket, on a block, on a towel. Just raise your hips up a little bit. Settle in and take a moment to close your eyes and scan your body. Just noticing your hips, noticing your shoulders, noticing your breath. And then take a hand to your heart and take a big deep inhale all the way into your heart. And a nice big long exhale. Let it go. And begin to come present in this moment, right now. Focusing on your breath. Setting intention for class today if you like. Becoming more and more aware of your breath. More and more aware of this moment. Beautiful. And then release your hand and we'll start a little movement together. I just realized I forgot to set my timer again. So I'm just going to set that so I don't lose track of time. Thanks for your patience, everybody, while we take these classes at home. I know it's not the same. I miss all of you. Okay, so let's come into a cross-legged position, again on your blanket or something. You probably haven't moved. And then bring your hands to opposite elbows. Sort of like the genie. And think about pulling your shoulder blades down your back. And then take a big inhale and lift your arms up as high as you can go. Breathe and then exhale down. Back out to center. And then again, inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Follow the movement in your shoulders. Follow your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. This time bring the arms all the way down. And again, inhale up. And see if you can pull them back a little further this time. And exhale down all the way. And one more time, inhale all the way up, really reaching your elbows up to the sky, pulling them behind you, and hold it here and breathe. Beautiful. And then slowly begin to open up your arms out to the side, and then open and close your fingers. Breathe. And slowly release your arms down. Nice. And then find a big shoulder roll here. Just starting to warm up. Open the shoulders up a little bit. And reverse direction. All right. I'm going to move into potted palm. What I call potted palm. So bring your left hand out to the side. Walk it out about 6 inches or so. Start to bend that left elbow down, and then inhale the right arm up. If you can bring the whole elbow down. Keep your right hip grounded. Reach your fingertips over. Relax your left ear to your left shoulder. And just breathe here. And then slowly start to look up under your right arm, opening your chest a little bit more. And then take that right arm and wrap it around your waist, just letting that right arm relax behind you. Keep breathing into your right hip. Let your left ear relax a little more to your left shoulder. And slowly release that. Come back up to center. We'll do the opposite side. Taking that right hand, walk the fingertips out. Keep your left hip grounded. Bend that right elbow. Inhale the left arm up and over your left ear. Let the right ear come a little closer to the right shoulder. Keep your heart open here. Reach the left fingertips. Keep the left hip grounded. And breathe. And then slowly start to lift your chin up to look under your left arm. Beautiful. Take that left arm and wrap it around your waist. Keep breathing into the left hip. Open your heart a little more. And release that. Come back to center. Now we're going to start to move back and forth here. So bring the left hand out to the side again. Inhale and reach the right arm over. Just reaching the fingertips over, and then begin to move back to the other side. So we'll flow back and forth here, reaching from side to side. Beautiful. Couple more. Reach your fingertips over. And then come back to center. You should feel a nice opening in your side body. All right, switch which leg is in front. And then we're going to turn the torso over the right leg. Tense your fingers over your right leg. And we're moving into a little seated cat-cow here, cross-legged cat-cow. So on an inhale, you're going to arch your back up, pull the shoulder blades back, lift your chin up towards the sky. You'll notice you can't move as much as when you're in tabletop, but it's the same action. And then on the exhale, round, bringing your chin towards your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, round. And just move at your pace, following your breath, your body. One more. And then come back to center. Nice couple of shoulder rolls. And then let's move to the other side. So turning your torso over the left leg, same thing. Inhale, pull the shoulders blades back. Reach your chin up to the sky. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach up. Move at your pace. You don't have to stay with me. Follow your breath. Beautiful. One more. Nice. And then move back to center. Beautiful. All right, bring your fingertips behind you with the fingers pointed forward. Press your hands down. Pull your shoulder blades back. Lift your chin to the sky here. Pulling your shoulder blades down. Beautiful. Then come back to center. And now we're going to fold forward right between the legs. So start by just bringing your hands in front of you. See if you can kind of keep a flat back at first. Walk your hands out. Find your edge. That point where you say, oh, I can't go any further here. I'm really feeling that stretch. And then when you're ready, go ahead and let your upper body just fold forward, rounding. You can let your head droop if you haven't had any whiplash or injuries in the neck. And breathe. Stay with your breath here. Beautiful. Very slowly start to walk your hands back up again, coming all the way up. And then take an elbow out to the side and do a big roll, and then the other elbow, just kind of rolling your shoulders out. And then switch which leg is in front. We're going to do that fold again for the opposite hip. So you probably feel this in the hip or the back. You want to make sure, or you want to try to keep your hips or your tailbone grounded down. It's going to lift off a little bit, but you don't want to come all the way up in the air when you fold forward. So take your time to find that posture, long spine, and when you're ready, begin to walk your hands out until you find that edge, and it's going to be different on each side. Maybe now that we've loosened up, you might be able to go a little further on this side. Take your time, and when you're ready, just let your upper body fold forward. You could use a prop here if you wanted to too, you don't have to. Breathe, stay with it. listen to your breath. Take a big deep inhale here through the nose. And then let out a big sigh. And then slowly start to work your way back up. Beautiful. And we're going to work the legs out in front. Slowly uncross your legs. We've been in a cross position for a little while, so take your time. Kind of jiggle out your legs, your feet. And then take that right foot and point it towards you, flex it towards you, I should say, and then point it away from you. And again, point it, flex it towards you and point away. Flex, point, flex, point. Maybe even close your eyes and see if you can feel this all the way up into your right hip as you move slowly with a lot of intention. And then switch feet, left foot, flex it towards you, and then point away, and flex, and point. Move with intention, isolating that body part, and just noticing that when you move that foot, you're probably going to feel it all the way up your body. You might even feel it in your shoulder. One more. Nice. And then shake them out again. All right, let's switch around into tabletop. Nice. And then just do a little circle here with your hips. Little movement around both directions. And then move your left foot up between your hands, coming into a lunge. Pause here. You could hold on to blocks here if you wanted to. We're going to start to move forward and come up onto those left toes. So just keep moving that left knee forward, coming up onto the left toes, stretching out the ankle until you've found your edge. And then you could stay here. You could hold on to blocks here. Pay attention to your ankle, to your knee. Or you could try balancing, bringing that left hand up and a gentle pressure on the knee. And breathe. And see if you can pull your spine up tall here. You can always hold onto blocks here too. I may have said that already. And then slowly start to come back. Releasing that left ankle down and start to walk your hands back. Walk that right knee back a little bit until you can straighten the left leg. Bring the toes towards the chin. And then hinge over that left leg softly till you find your edge. Pause here. And then take the left foot and rotate it left and right, just a tiny little movement. Noticing where you feel this in the hip, maybe the back of the leg, maybe your shin. Beautiful. And then point and flex that left foot again. And see if you remember what it felt like when we were sitting on the floor doing the same action. It might feel a little different now. You might feel this in your low back, your left hip. Move with intention. One more. Beautiful. And then we're going to come forward into a lunge again and just pause here. So this time keeping your knee and your ankle aligned, lifting your spine up, maybe holding onto blocks here. I forgot to grab my blocks. And breathe. Beautiful. And then release that and work your way back into a tabletop. We're going to take that left leg behind and just shake it out. And then bend the left knee and make some circles here. Nice, all right. Bring that knee back down, tabletop, and just find some circles for your hips and your shoulders all the way around. You can go in both directions, noticing how that left hip feels compared to the right. All right, we're going to switch and do the right leg now. So I'm just going to turn around here. So pull the right leg up between your hands. And then we're going to start to come up onto those right toes. So take your time. Oh, here's my blocks. I'm going to grab them here. So come up onto your right toes, pulling that right knee forward until you find your edge. Pay attention to your body. Maybe you stay right here. If you want to try to balance, you can bring your hands up. Gentle pressure on that right knee. Tall spine. Breathe. Beautiful. And then slowly release your hands. We're going to start to walk the hands back so that you can straighten that right leg. Take your time. And then when you're ready, hinge at the hip level over that right leg, kind of with a flat back until you feel it in the hamstrings, the hip. Keep the foot flexed towards you and breathe. And then taking your right foot, rotate it left and right. Tiny little movements. Beautiful. And then take that right foot and point it away from you and flex it towards you. Point and flex. Move at your pace. You could close your eyes here if it doesn't make you dizzy. One more. Nice. And then we're going to move back forward again. Coming into that low lunge. This time keeping the ankle and the knee aligned. Lifting your spine up tall. Breathe. And then slowly release that, bring that right knee back, come into tabletop again. And pick up the right knee and make some circles. Noticing how that right hip feels here, go in both directions. And place the right knee down back into tabletop and just circle your hips around here. Your shoulders, your hips. Go in both directions. Nice. All right, we're going to flip around and come to a seated position on your towel or your blanket. And bring your right foot into your groin and your left knee out. This is a half butterfly. So the left leg can just be out to the side somewhere. Right leg can be all the way into your groin. If that bothers your knee and you want to keep it out in front, you can do that. You could put a prop here under that right knee. So take your time to get settled here. Even out your hips and make sure you're not tucking your tailbone under. Keep it out from under you. So a slight forward tilt of the pelvis, anterior tilt. Keep that left foot flexed, right foot flexed, protecting the knees. And just sit up nice and tall here. Close your eyes and take a really deep inhale through your nose. And a big exhale through the mouth, a big sigh. Staying present in this moment. And take a moment to notice if you're leaning to the right or leaning to the left, and see if you can even yourself out a bit. All right, we're going to hinge and come forward in the middle here. So take a big deep inhale. And on the exhale, begin to hinge forward any amount. You can walk your hands forward. You could put a prop here if you want to. And then just let your upper body round and relax. Finding your first edge, letting go. Stay with your breath. Stay present in this moment. Take a big deep inhale here through the nose. And let out a big sigh. And then very slowly begin to lift up here. Taking your time. Pausing at the top. And from here, take that right foot out in front a little bit, if it's not already. Bring the left leg in, soles of the feet together. Hold onto your ankles. And take your elbows and just slightly press them against your knees and lean forward again a bit. We're not going to be here long, just a little counter to what we did. Noticing the left hip compared to the right. Breathe. side and come up. From here, we're moving into deer pose. So still seated in the same position. Just take that right leg, bend the knee, and start to pull it behind you. So taking the right foot behind you all the way. And then pull the left leg in front. So you're going to start to move the left hip and left knee are going to stay aligned. Pulling that left foot into you a little bit more. So it's like a pinwheel position. And then you can take your right foot and maybe move it away from you a little bit so that the right knee and the right ankle stay aligned. You could take a prop and put it under your left knee in the front here. If this is bothering your left knee to have it lined up with your hip, you can pull it up a little bit. So just pay attention to how this feels in your body. Once you find that position, see if you can sit up a little taller, coming with a straight spine here. And then bring your left hand out to the side and take the right arm and reach up over like we did in the beginning, maybe bending that left elbow. Big stretch through the right hip, all the way up through the right fingertips. Release that, bring the right hand to the right knee and lift the left arm up and over, stretching from the left hip up through the left fingertips. We're going to move back and forth here. So just rotating and flowing at your pace. And following your breath. Couple more. Nice. And then release that. Come back to center. And this time we're going to flow forward and back. So you can take your fingertips. I move my prop out of the way. Keep your feet flexed. And start to walk your fingertips forward with a flat back. Leaning into that left leg. And then walk your hands back behind you and open your heart, lift up. And then forward, walking the hands forward. Getting into that left hip. And walking back and lifting up. One more. Beautiful. And then come back to center and just find some stillness here. Close your eyes. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Come into this moment. And then slowly begin to release that by swinging that right leg around in front. Bring both the soles of the feet onto the floor, about hip distance apart. Support yourself with your hands and then let your knees float over to one side and then the other. Little windshield wiper here. Right, and then come back to center, and we're going going to take the right leg out to the side straight. Left leg comes into the groin area. It can either come in close or you can move that foot away from you. And then you can also take a prop and put it under that left knee if you want. So straighten yourself up. And close your eyes here again, keeping your feet flexed. And just pay attention to how this feels, noticing your body here. Each side's a little different. Nice. All right, we're going to hinge forward again. So sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands out in front. If you want a prop here, you can put a blanket, a bolster, whatever you would like. And start to walk your hands forward, hinging at the hips. Make sure you're not just rounding your head over, but bending way down low, kind of with a flat back here. Tail is untucked. And then when you've found you can't go any further at the hip level, then start to relax your upper body and just melt into this, becoming very yin-like. Allowing gravity to do its job, appreciating gravity here. We love gravity in yin, using the weight of your body to just fold into this. And breathe. Stay with your breath. Beautiful. Take a big deep inhale through the nose. And let out a big sigh. And slowly start to walk your hands back up, coming up. And then take that right leg, take the left leg out and just shake it out. Pull the right leg in, coming into that butterfly position, feet out in front. And again, take your elbows, if you can, press them against your knees and lean forward a little bit. You can just hold onto your legs here, sort of taking your legs out to the side. You might feel this in the inner groin area. And breathe. It's a nice little counter to what we just did. And then release that, come up, bring your fingertips behind you, feet about hip distance apart, and then find that windshield wiper action again. All right, we're going to move into deer on the other side. So just take your right foot in front, take that left foot, swing it around. So you're swinging the left foot all the way around so that the knee and the hip are aligned. Bring the right foot at it. You're looking for a right angle here. So you want the right hip and right knee aligned. Right foot is flexed. And you can grab a prop here if you like to put under that knee. If this is bothering your Left knee, pull the foot closer. If you can, see if you can pull that foot away so that the left foot and the knee align. And just take time here to sit up nice and tall and notice the difference in each side. You close your eyes. See if you can relax and let go of your hips for a moment. And then release that, and we're going to move back and forth here. So take the right hand out to the side here, and then inhale the left arm and reach over from the left hip all the way through the fingertips. And release that, bring the left hand to the left knee, and inhale the right arm up and over. Reaching from that right hip through the right fingertips. And then just start to move back and forth here at your pace. Following your breath, moving with your body and your breath. Beautiful. One more. And then come back to center. Bring your fingertips behind you. Open your heart and your chest, lifting up. Nice. And then on the exhale, come forward. Walk your hands forward with a flat back, just leaning over that right leg. And then moving back again, and just follow your breath. Find your pace. Lifting your heart to the sky. This is a little movement. It doesn't have to be big. So really focusing on that right hip as you move. Or maybe you feel it in the left hip. Maybe probably both. I feel it in both hips. Let's do one more. And then come back to center and find that stillness again. Pausing here. Maybe closing your eyes. Relaxing your hips a little bit more. And just breathe. Start to release that by bringing that left leg around in front. Slowly moving mindfully. Take both legs out in front and just kind of shake them out. Bring the soles of your feet together again. This time we're going to separate the feet a little bit wider. Bring your forearms down towards the floor and just lean forward for a moment here. Untuck that tailbone and relax everything. Slowly begin to release that, lifting up. Bring the soles of the feet onto the floor again. Separate the feet a little wider. And take one knee into the center. Let the hip come up in the air. And then the other knee. And just just move back and forth a few times. Nice, all right. We did a lot of hip work today. Let's come on to the hands and knees, tabletop. And bring your hands a little bit out in front of your shoulders. Drop your hips down and then pull the hips over to the left and then to the right. And just do a little rotating back and forth here. And then pull your hips way back towards your heels and find a big circle here, sinking them over to the left again, forward, over to the right, and pull them back towards your heels. Big circles. And then switch direction. Nice, all right. We're gonna find a child's pose here. So any version of child's pose that you like, if you wanna grab a bolster, a blanket, you like a wide knee child's pose, take your time, sink down into your version of a child's pose, giving that lower back a rest, giving the hips a rest. If this is uncomfortable on the top of your feet, you can tuck a blanket or a towel underneath there. Find what works for you, and then relax everything. Think about breathing from your tailbone up through the crown of your head, pulling that breath up and down your spine. Beautiful. Slowly take your forehead and roll it back and forth on the mat. And side to side. And then bring your hands behind you, clasp them together, and slowly start to straighten your elbows and lift your arms up to the sky. A little shoulder stretch here. And release that down and start to work your way over onto your spine, coming all the way onto your back. If you have a block here, or blocks, this would be a nice place to use them. If you don't have blocks, you could have a blanket handy. We'll use that for our next position. So come all the way into your spine and just take a big stretch here, reaching out long. And then bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, and then grab that block or a blanket. You're going to move into a supported bridge. So you're going to put it right in the middle. I like to do it long ways along your spine. You could use 2 blocks if you wanted to. And just rest your spine on that block or on a blanket. And then you can allow your arms to come to cactus arms. You could separate your feet and let your knees float in together. Hold on a little bit further. Whatever feels nice to you. So I move this. Some people like a big arch in the back when they do like a true back bend. but I'm moving it so that my tailbone, my bottom is lifted up off the floor here. That feels nicer to me, but everybody's different. So you find what works for you. And then just relax your upper arms. If it's a little too much on your shoulders to do cactus arms, you can let them rest down by your side. You can keep your feet in a little closer to your bottom if you like. Just experiment a little bit here. We're using the prop to support us here. So you might be on a bolster or a blanket. And then find your breath again. Keep your chin, talk to your chest here a little bit. We don't want to create any tension in the neck. Take a big deep inhale here through the nose. And let out a big sigh. And then slowly begin to lift up your hips. Remove that prop out of the way. Bring the hips back down. Let your spine rest on the mat completely. Noticing how that feels. Bring your hands down by your side. And then let your knees float from side to side. And then let your legs come out long. Take another big stretch. We're going to move into our final Shavasana position. So if you want to wrap up in a blanket, put something under your knees, whatever you like to do for Shavasana, go ahead and get comfy here. Allow your shoulder blades to come underneath your back. Palms facing forward. Let your ankles just fall open to the side. Take your head and roll it back and forth a few times. And then find some stillness. Tune into your breath again. Let everything go. Just breathe. Very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just find a little bit of movement in your body. Starting to deepen your breath. And when you're ready, take your arms overhead for a big stretch, like you're first waking up in the morning. And then bend your knees and roll over onto your right side, giving yourself one last moment. Throughout life, you don't find yourself once. You have to find yourself again and again. Keep looking, keep searching, and continue to find your true self. And work your way up into a comfortable seated position. And let's share our breath together by inhaling the arms up and exhaling all that beautiful, calm energy back into your heart to carry with you throughout the day today. Thank you for practicing, everyone. Namaste. Thanks. I hope you have a great day and hope to see you soon. Miss you all. Bye.